Today we're in New York, heading to Brooklyn to see Lee, a passionate and talented dancer, teacher, and activist, perform at the Triskelion Arts Studio Theater. Let's take a peek at what she's up to.
I guess I should ease you into this, but this is my reality. Microaggressions and macroaggressions are like pre-shots to earthquakes. How many times do my inside shake?
We're in New York tonight. It's raining. It's crazy out here.
But Lee just got done performing.
And we have an opportunity to meet up with her afterwards.
Ooh. Yo, so this weather.
Hey. I'm so appreciative that you invited us out tonight.
Of course. I'm very excited to be here.
That's good. So it's my first time seeing you perform, and it was moving. It was amazing. How do you feel?
I feel really good about it. This is my first time doing this version of this piece. So I always feel like it's like a cathartic experience. I don't feel like it's really a performance as so more of me just like being very vulnerable on stage and like standing in my truth.
Yeah. I sense how vulnerable you were, and you could tell how much it meant to you.
All of the work that I create is social political and about the, collective Black experience as well as my personal experience as a Black woman, millennial. So I feel like all of my work is very personal. This is the first time in one of my pieces that instead of just using a lot of metaphors, I like directly was like, no, these are instances where my family and I, for me at a young age, have been treated like injustice.
I was under the age of 10 when I learned the nature of white silence. When my family and I were denied service, our right said we could enter, but our skin was too dark to eat. Under the age of 10, when we were pulled over for speeding, let us be clear, there wasn't a speeding. And the officer told my father his badge didn't matter. It turns out there was no reason to this shit.
That was my first time putting that out there, that information.
Yeah, no, you put it on Front Street. I mean, you took a moment to laugh at that. You put layers into your performance. There's just a lot that you put into just a short, time on that stage, but it was very powerful. It's one thing to want to put on a performance, but another thing to map it out for other people. Is that hard to teach people?
Yeah, I think for me it's hard to teach people because established companies have funding and space. Yeah. Whereas I'm a solo artist that's making project-based work. So I have to a lot of the times dip into my own pocket to make sure that my dancers get paid. Make sure that I have space, make sure I get enough rehearsal space so that they can learn the steps, but also so that they can get the feeling and the intention and also practice dancing together. Because something that companies have is that time to really have that bond of dancing and breathing together.
Tonight we have our GMTA moment. That's Give Me the Ox.
Yes.
And I'm sure as a dancer and a performer, you go to different cities and you're required to get into Ubers. And sometimes, if you're lucky, we have opportunities to have drivers who give us the aux. And so I usually ask, if you had to put somebody on some music today, what are the 5 top songs?
So I'll definitely always play Temptations by Tupac because that's my song. Nights by Frank Ocean. Or even just any
Frankie song, okay.
Any Frank Ocean song. Okay. Honestly, any song off the Dreamville album, that whole album is pretty much Didn't You Know by Erykah Badu.
Ooh, okay.
Yes, for sure. And I listen to a lot of Marvin Gaye, so I would say What's Happening.
Isn't that just the perfect song for life right now? There's a lot of questions that I feel like are ringing through our heads, and Marvin Gaye kind of illustrates that too.
Black lives matter. No peace.
Being in this field, has it taken you to places that you would have never thought of as far as travel?
Yeah, I went to Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso, which means Land of Honorable People, is a small West African country nestled between Mali, Niger, Benin, Togo, Ghana, and Cote d'Ivoire.
Amazing. It was a great experience, dancing, living,
Beautiful country.
beautiful country, amazing food, beautiful people, and just collaborating with artists, even though my French is pretty bad.
So tonight, because it's raining, I thought we were gonna go out to a restaurant. Doesn't look like that. It's probably gonna be better if we just go inside and hang out. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Pizza.
Yeah.
You alright with pizza? I feel like
Sure.
we're in New York, so we should do like New York things. Pizza's a New York thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to pizza, because I'm kind of a stickler when it comes to pizza. I don't like thick crust pizza. I don't like that Chicago style pizza. And we're in New York,
So you came to the right place.
I came to the right place, but
Yeah.
either or. Do you have a preference?
Thin crust.
Thin crust.
Yeah.
Thinner the better.
I also don't eat pizza outside of New York.
Oh,
I
okay.
won't. I'll try it if I'm forced to.
Okay.
But I won't eat pizza outside of New York. It's definitely the best pizza. You can go
It's
to
something.
any shop.
All right, looks like we're here trying to go get some pizza.
Yes. Oh yeah, it's not that bad out now.
I was like, I thought I put it in my pocket. Didn't want to leave without that.
I used to tell people that I was related to Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong. In elementary school, I would just tell them that, and people would believe me, and I'd be like, "Yeah, for sure."
So I told you we're gonna get pizza, and luckily we got good New York thin crust pizza.
When we were talking about your dancing, one of the things I didn't ask you about is how did you start all this?
So I was born 7 to 10 weeks premature, and then doctor said that I needed to be in occupational therapy because I had trash hand-eye coordination and my hands were really weak and all that stuff. So I was always dancing around the house because there's always music playing in the house, especially on Saturdays. That's my favorite day because WBGO is always playing.
All right.
And that's all Motown and old school music.
Yeah.
It's
Classics.
yeah, perfect. So I was always dancing around the house. So my parents were like, "Got it, dance. That's active."
So that was it.
Yeah, that was pretty much the start.
With dance, especially how you've been accustomed to it, do you think that it's easier for kids nowadays to get that kind of influence of dance?
I feel like it depends on the kid's economic background, to be honest, because before I started really go to dance class, I really was dancing at church. So I feel like because funding isn't really there for community programs or the arts, depending on where you live and what your situation is, it's harder to have, access to the arts.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing that you had access to dance and the art form at a young age, and it led you on this path for what you found out is your passion. When you talk about all the things that's done for you, one of the things that I got from your performance is that there's activism, and that seems to be a big part of who you are. How does that illustrate itself as far as not only in dance but in your life?
Well, in dance, all the work that I make is social political work. So again, it's all about my experience, collective experience. My parents are both very active in the community. Definitely a blessing when it comes to like them teaching me the importance of like learning my history, knowing my history, the importance of family, the importance of like having an eclectic taste in music and just the history that music can teach you, like about yourself and about your people. I also work with kids, and I primarily work with students of color. So it's like just thinking about ways that I can empower and teach about like self-worth and just prepare younger people for, you know, the world. Like, as well as, you know, inform and educate through my art. So,
that's important. I hope the pizza was good. I know that I was enjoying it while you were talking. I was crushing it. You didn't get an opportunity to get many bites in, so I'll let you get some food. I liked your GMPA tracks. I feel like you had a good mix of, you know, new tracks, and then you let them know, you let the young kids know that Marvin Gaye still has that work for them.
Yeah, it's where it's at. It's where it's at. That whole album.
Yeah.
Where it's at. It's completely relevant, always.
Always.
You can find Lee on Instagram at withlovelee, EE, and keep up with all she does. Click the link above to listen to tonight's GMTA playlist.
There is no safe space for the Black body. This is no safe space. No, I will not ease you into this. This is my reality. My existence is active resistance, and that shit's tiring. Code switching is exhausting. Being left out of history books is exhausting. Proving my humanity is exhausting. Validating my existence is exhausting. So my question is this. Do you acknowledge our existence? Can you see our realities differ?